Ordinarily, every year, we celebrate my dad on April 15th. The date in 1947 when he officially broke baseball's color barrier.
The coming of Jackie Robinson, the first black player.
But 2020, of course, hasn't been like any other year. And so here we are at the end of August commemorating Jackie Robinson Day. Yet as you go back through my father's story,
he is a credit to baseball and to America.
You should know that today hardly represents just another day on the calendar. Exactly 75 years ago, August 28, 1945, a monumental meeting took place in Brooklyn, New York. Branch Rickey, the general manager of the Dodgers, had invited my dad to his office without telling him the reason why. When Jackie arrived, Rickey explained he wanted to sign him to the Dodgers and make him the first black player in the 20th century to play in the major leagues.
I felt that there was that kind of sportsmanship in America that would not turn thumbs down on a Negro of high intelligence, of fine character, and of great physical skills.
But first, he had to answer some questions.
We talked about all the people who are going to be anti. So we're going to have some people on our side, but we really are not going to have very many allies. We're going to have to do this thing simply by the box score. And you've got to turn your cheek at every opportunity. You want to know whether I could do it.
For 3 long hours, Rickey pelted him with those questions, assuming the role of racist opponents, fans, and more, testing Jackie's poise, his self-control, his willingness, as Rickey put it, not to fight back. My father's responses satisfied Rickey's concerns, and a few months later, he was signed to a contract.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rickey. I'm certainly delighted with my contract.
The rest is baseball history. Now fast forward to exactly 57 years ago, August 28, 1963. By then, my dad had been retired for years, but after baseball, he kept fighting for civil rights and equality. And on that day, he took our whole family to participate in the March on Washington, alongside 250,000 other Americans. It was an experience I will never forget. And when Martin Luther King so loudly and beautifully shared his dream that day with the world,
we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
It all felt like a continuation of the progress that Dad had been at the center of ever since he first played at Ebbets Field. Even then, my father was starting to battle health problems. He had less than 10 years to live. Still remarkable when you think of the kind of athlete he was, that his life would be cut so short. Nearly a half century after his passing, people have asked me what Jackie Robinson would have thought about what we've seen transpire in the year 2020. What would have saddened him?
People still don't care.
What would have angered him? What would have moved him? I think the only thing I can say for sure is that my dad would have been focused on the change that needs to come, identifying ways for it to impact the most people and make the most difference. He would have embraced the Black Lives Matter struggle and believed in the fight. And on this very different, but fundamentally the same Jackie Robinson Day 2020, here would be my question for all of us. What do we want the world to look like 75 years from now? 57 years from now? Next year? What do you want the future to say about the moment we lived in, the chance we had to move the world forward? A game like baseball can play a part in that progress. Jackie Robinson proved it for all time. As we remember him, keep in mind how hard his journey was. how much he cared, how much he still means.